there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds, whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside, a treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. How are you this evening? Well, if you have not been here before, where have you been? We got all the tea. My name is Elizabeth, and this is Hillbilly Crime. Sweet Tater's still not feeling very good. She tested positive for COVID. She went down there to Shawanoa, North Carolina, and I reckon everybody down there ended up with COVID. So she brought it home. She's not feeling very good. So please keep her in your prayers. She felt better yesterday, she said. And then she didn't feel good today. So, you know, it kind of bounced back and forth. How is everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. We're a little bit late again tonight. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I just could not get myself together today. I had no other excuse. Could not get myself together today. Sue Tutton. Been dropping your channel all over my true crime tour today. Thank you. We sure like to hear that. Where's everybody from? So you're just a mile or two from Kentucky. So we are just like where I live, we're like 5 miles from the Virginia line. So we have Kentucky and Virginia. Best of both worlds. All right, guys. Scam alert. the Rehab campaign was born somewhere. Where was it born? Well, I think that it was born with it around 2015 to 2020. You had about a 5-year window there where there was the election of 2018 that I think was very pivotal in that. And that is also the same elections that we see with Mickey Steins and a bunch of other people. So we are going to look here at some old photos. I dug up some old pictures and stuff, some old video that I had taken back when I worked for a local TV station. It was a public access TV station. And I did a whole lot of work with them. And I took a lot of pictures. And I'm so glad that I took all these pictures that I took. Okay. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Let me pull them up this way. There we go. I think y'all are going to like this. Check this out. Check this out. We got Steins for sheriff. And there's Mickey sitting back there in the back. That's him and his wife, his family. And then you had a bunch of people there with him. There's Mike Watts for circuit court clerk. That was his tent. And see, this is how all of our local festivals, this right here is how all of our campaigns, our local campaigns are done. We have what's called Jenkins days here in Jenkins, and they have it once a year. It's a Friday or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I think. And this, I think this is Jenkins days right here. And then they have another little town called Neon, and those are Neon days. And then you have another little town called Blackie, so they have Blackie days and Isom days. And all the people, whenever they decide that they're going to run for an elected office, they make sure that they pay their fees for each of these festivals, which was really interesting when I went and dug into the campaign finances and stuff for a lot of our elected officials. It was funny, like I think only one of the people like put their expenses in properly on their campaign money. So I thought that was awful funny myself. All right. And there's Terry Adams. That's our judge executive. So that was when he was, this is all the same time. Okay. It's all the same day. It's all the same time. So you have just booth after booth after booth of all of these politicians who are running for elected office. And so everybody walks around and, you know, and see how they've got their shirts out there, their campaign shirts laying on the table. And like Terry Adams's wife there is wearing her campaign shirt. And so campaign t-shirts are like the only thing. If you've got the best quality t-shirt, it's sad. But if you've got the best quality t-shirt and you're giving it away for free and it's the prettiest, you know, like people would want to wear it, they're going to vote. Like a lot of people get their votes because they give them a t-shirt. And if you don't have enough money to buy campaign t-shirts, I don't think you got a chance. There's Barry Engel, and that is our school resource officer, Alicia. We love her. She used to be a deputy for the sheriff's department. And then this was somebody else, that it was Wayne Fleming, and he was running for mayor against Todd DePriest, who is our current mayor. And then there's Mickey and his family. It just seems like it's so sad to see that picture. It's sad to remember that time. That was such a time of hope. And it was a time, it was like a new, you know, I don't know. It was just a new time. There were so many people that were in elected offices before 2018 that the election of 2018 kind of brought with it a like a changing of the guard type thing almost. It's really just sad to look back on now with all that we know today. Okay. So that was just a few pictures that I had of the election of 2018. And we're going to look at, okay, so just to kind of give you all a warning. All right. I hate looking at these old videos of me. You know, I struggled with addiction myself, as I tell you guys. And one of the things that I ended up doing for myself was I saved my money. I had a good job a couple years ago, and I saved my money, and I saved my money, and I saved my money, and I went and got implants, dental implants on the bottom. You know, I was just like everybody else. My teeth went bad too. And I ended up I went and got them took out, and I couldn't wear a bottom denture. They just wouldn't fit. Every time I'd put it in, I'd slap it up with glue, and it didn't matter. It would pop out every time. So I saved my money, and I saved my money, and I saved my money. And I went and I had dental implants done on the bottom. And that was about 2 years ago. So they don't come out, you know, they're implants. They're mine. But the old videos that I did, I didn't have any bottom teeth. So you can tell when I talk that I didn't have any bottom teeth. When I had my teeth done, you know, it gave me 10 years back on my life. You know, I looked like an old woman. But, you know, I was really trying hard to be a trailblazer in recovery for MAT patients, for people who were on Suboxone, you know. So the treatment and the rehab world was coming in, and you're getting ready to see it. I want to show you a little bit of this, of how it was back. And I feel like we kind of got snowed, you know, like there was always a new rally. Like this right here was the Spark rally, the Spark Ministries rally. This happened about the same time. 2018, I think, is when it was. But I feel like there was always, you know, they were always trying to come up with this stuff. So just listen to a little bit of it. We're not going to watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I put all of the links into the description of this video. So if anybody wants to go and watch any of this stuff, you are more than welcome to. I encourage you to go and watch it all, or, you know, any of it that you'd like to. It gives you a really good idea of how they, I feel like we were kind of brainwashed about treatment and about rehab, and how this rehab campaign was born. You know, it was shoved in everybody's face. There was, let me show this first. It is the, let's see. All right. So this was, I guess, the Facebook page for it. So it says, everyone welcome. This was Jamie Hatton, Letcher County attorney. This was our district attorney. It still is. This is Jamie Hatton. He's still our district attorney. He's the prosecutor that worked in Judge Mullins's courtroom. Okay. This was his. He was the one that hosted this. Hosted by Letcher County attorney Jamie Hatton and special, I can't really read that. People Advocating Recovery, Kentucky Ministries presents the first annual. See, this was pitched to us as, you know, this was going to be the beginning, the first one of many to come, right? And it was about the Casey's Law. So Casey's Law went into effect. Let me pull it up so I can tell you exactly what Casey's Law is without getting it wrong. Okay, so Casey's Law, also known as the Matthew Casey Wethington Act, is a legal process in Kentucky that allows family members or friends. This is how the court got involved in the rehab and the treatment. Okay, this is how the court got involved here in Whitesburg. This was the beginning of it. It's a legal process in Kentucky that allows family members or friends to petition the court for involuntary treatment of a loved one struggling with substance abuse who is unable to recognize their need for help. This law enables intervention when an individual's substance use disorder impairs their judgment to the point where they can't seek treatment on their own. The purpose for Casey's Law provides a mechanism for families to initiate treatment for a loved one who is experiencing a substance use disorder and is not able to voluntarily seek help. Usually the family member, I've done it before. So the family, I think there has to be two of you, and you go in and you see the judge's people, like the advocates or whoever it is, and the judge. I guess you'd probably see the judge too. And you tell them what's going on, like if your spouse is seeing things up on the hill and, you know, they're flipping out and having that meth psychosis thing, and they're not able to really make decisions, you know, logically and stuff, and they might hurt themselves, or they might hurt you, they might hurt somebody else. You would petition the court and tell them that. And so then the court, I think, would then go and pick them up, and they would have the option of going to treatment, or, well, they have to go to treatment, or they stay in jail. They keep them in jail. Let's see if it tells exactly. Involuntary treatment. The law allows for court-ordered treatment meaning the individual is not making the decision to enter treatment themselves, so they're court ordered to it. But if they refuse to go, then they're held in jail until they decide they're ready to go. Who can petition? Parents, relatives, and friends can file a petition with the court seeking treatment for the individual. Conditions for petition. The individual must be suffering from a substance use disorder, be unable to recognize their need for treatment, and pose a danger to themselves or others due to their substance use. The process. The process involves filing a petition with the court, which then reviews it and determines if there is probable cause to order the treatment. Treatment options. Treatment can vary and may include detox, intensive treatment, or other recovery programs. Financial responsibility. The person petitioning for treatment is typically responsible for the costs associated with the legal process and the treatment itself. So the people who are petitioning it then has to pay for it. Statewide availability. Casey's Law is currently available in Kentucky, and it's named after Matthew Casey, who passed away from OD at the age of 23. And so that was used, that was kind of like the beginning of it. A lot, I think it's the lady, it might be the mom of the boy who that law was made after. I think his mommy went around and did a whole lot of like interviews and, you know, trying to bring awareness to opiate addiction, because at that time it was opioid addiction. It was opioid abuse was really the main substance that we had struggled with so much as a society. But it was moving at that time, it was starting to move to the methamphetamine, but the opioids are what kicked it all off. Okay. So, let's go back up here to the rally and y'all just see how it started.
And my dad began to get so bad, I could not handle it anymore. He would drink liter after liter of alcohol and wanted to die, but I wouldn't let him. Because I remember that daddy that used to, every day after work, would.
Okay, now I think she's one of the ladies who organizes the Spark. Now there's a couple different people here that we're going to listen to because they're local and they're police officials. We've got Jamie Hatton in here that we're going to listen to. Let's see. This is our old judge executive. This is Jim Ward.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting Spark. And I also want to thank all the agencies here that show that they do care and there is help out there. So
now, I want to stress that at this time, medically assisted treatment, Suboxone, no. They did not want to hear anything about Suboxone. It was abstinence only. Now, around this time, they were starting to change the rules. None of these doctors, none of these people that were around here would write Suboxone. You had to drive 2 or 3 hours away to find a doctor who would write it, because all the people around here didn't want to hurt their precious little reputations. My doctor was one of the very first ones around here that started it. And she lost half of her medical patients because they did not want to sit in a waiting room with the likes of us. They were so upset. And a lot of them were elderly people. A lot of them were older people. And they just didn't understand what medically assisted treatment was. And they just simply quit going to their family doctor that they had all their life because they didn't want to sit in a waiting room with me or anybody like me. And I will always, always respect my doctor because, you know, even though she had that little bump in her medical practice at that time, it grew. Like it was temporary, you know. If she hadn't stepped out on faith and believed that it would be okay, she would have been like everybody else, and you know, none of us would have been able to get treated because, you know, they wouldn't write it because they were too scared that they would lose their patients. Even though she lost some at the beginning, she ended up gaining so much more. And most of those people came back, you know. So you just sometimes you just got to step out on faith and know that God's going to take care of us. If you all watch or pay attention to our goals, one of the things that I say a lot is that you cannot outgive God. The reason why I say that, I'm going to explain that real quick. So there's an older lady. She's one of my elders, and she was in my church, and I love her very, very, very much. I love her always. And she was one of the most kind. I can't even, like, she would stop. She would see me and she would stop her car and call me over, and she'd dig in her purse and she'd give me a $5 bill and she'd say, now here's, you take and give that to, get Gregory an ice cream with that. And then she'd give me another $5 bill and she'd say, now you get Alan an ice cream with that. And then she'd give me a $50 bill and say, now you go buy yourself something nice. And so many times she would try to give me money and I wouldn't, you know, I wasn't trying to take it. But you know, so many times I needed it. And God knew it. God knew I needed it. And she gave it to me I never asked. She always, always, always. And she'd always tell me, baby, you can't never outgive God. She said, God gives it back to me tenfold every time. And she was right. I've lived my life that way ever since because I've seen it. She's right. Every single time I have given like she did, God blessed me. God blessed me in ways that, you know, he gave it back to me tenfold every single time. So, you know, even there have been times where people would say, man, you got $20 I can borrow for gas. And I had it. I didn't want to give it to them, but I did because I was afraid, you know, if I didn't give them that $20, here I am with a real good job. I'm doing fine. I can afford to give them that $20. It's not going to hurt me. That's greed, y'all. Greed. And I'll tell you something else too. When you go through your house and you get all your giveaway stuff and basically it's the stuff that you're going to throw away anyway, that's not given. Okay? Like we want to pat ourselves on the back because we went through our closet and we went through our kids' drawers and got the clothes that were too little that we're going to give away anyway. You know, that we're giving people our garbage. Don't pat ourselves on the back for that. Okay? Don't do that. Try giving something that you really wanted to keep for yourself. Something that you really wanted. That's given. When we give people our garbage, I don't pat myself on the back for that because, you know, we're just giving people our garbage. They were nice enough to take it off of our hands, basically, you know. It's when we give something of substance that meant something to us. That's what true giving is. But a lot of people don't understand the difference of that. But that's why I say we can't ever outgive God, because there's never been a time, not one time, that I obeyed God that he didn't bless me. Bless me, bless me. And he still does all the time, every day. Every day. It can always be worse. It can always be worse. What was it? I was going to complain, or one day I complained of not having any shoes until I saw a man with no feet. That changed my life.
As I've been here in the courthouse for almost 12 years, I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of people go through, and with the help of all these agencies, or county attorney's office, or district circuit judge, with all the programs that they're having right now, is really making a difference. And I just hope everyone supports this and supports the agencies. And if you're out there and you need help, please let someone know. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to say something about old Jim Ward there. We didn't, and this is just my opinion, but I don't think we realized, what we had until it was gone. If that makes any sense. Okay, we're going to pass through. Okay, now here's the interview that I did with Jamie Hatton, y'all. And notice, you know, they ignored me. They've always ignored me. He doesn't look me in the eye. You can tell that, or at least it makes me feel when I watch this like he couldn't get away from me fast enough.
And that's the last somebody can get in to treatment. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARCTV, and we're here in Whitesburg, Kentucky, speaking with Jamie Hatton, our county attorney, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on today.
Thank you. Yes, we're having our first annual recovery rally here in Whitesburg this Saturday. It's something we're working through the Spark initiative, just trying to show the people in Letcher County and in the mountains that we care, showing them what resources are available if you or someone in your family are suffering from this awful disease. There's help. There's help to be had for you. There's help in this area. That's the purpose of this rally. We've got community partners from all over the region, rehab, ECOG centers. We've got people with men that are medicated, helping have these rehabs paid for. We have
It's like diarrhea of the mouth. He's putting all this stuff out there, and you know, people don't even, at this time, this was like 2018 or something, like people didn't really know what a lot of this stuff was. But like I said, this was the first. This was supposed to be the first of like many. You see how big this thing was. It took up the whole main street. And they had it on the courthouse steps. Like, that's the front of the courthouse right there that you see.
Training people to save lives that are suffering from a overdose addiction. It's been a great day. We've had lots of support. We're going to have a balloon release coming up.
Like, he won't even look at me. He's looking over this way. And I'm like, hey, I'm over here. Is it me? Is it me? Am I just paranoid?
For all the people, there may be currently recovering, people who lost loved ones through this awful disease. It's really been a great day, and we really had great support.
It looks like we've got people from all throughout the counties who's come from the different little towns. And the mobile pharmacy that came in the other day said that Letcher County was the biggest event that they have ever had, and it was a great success. Do you see all the resources that are coming together?
Like, that's how they always did me. They wouldn't never look at me. I'd try to talk to them, and I was trying to be serious. Like, I had things that I was trying to do.
Now making a difference in Letcher County.
I do. I really see a difference. I see that people didn't know what to do. People knew that people were struggling, knew people were suffering. They just didn't know what to do. They didn't know what resources were available. That's sort of the purpose of today, is to show people there are resources available right here in Whitesburg. And it's making a difference in people's lives. We can see it every day. I see more and more people that are not just telling me they're drug-free. People who truly are drug-free.
And see, like, how many people do you think were successful through all this stuff? All the money that they have funneled into southeastern Kentucky for all of these programs that they have brainwashed people. I drank the Kool-Aid at the beginning too. I was like, yay, here I am. I want to be part of it. And they were like, no. Not you. No.
One of the things that I've seen personally is the stigma towards addiction. And a lot of the different entities around Letcher County has told me that we really have to start looking within to get rid of that stigma. And do you see more of the professional, more of the law enforcement, the criminal justice side of things starting to let go of that stigma towards addiction?
We are. It's been a slow transition, but we've learned through the years that you can't jail away addiction. You have to treat addiction. You have to face addiction. You can't.
Now, this was right before the Senate 90 bill, which was Kevin Mullins, Judge Mullins's baby. That, what he just said there, was the key word of it all. We've learned that we can't jail away addiction. Really? I don't know. He's always been that way. Like, I went in there and I took all my stuff, and I was just so proud. Just graduated, and I had went from 0 to 60, daylight and dark, and I had it all on paper, like showing him all my stuff. And I went into his office one day and I sat down with him and I gave it all to him, and I told him kind of my story and stuff. And he was looking at my stuff and he said, "Who the hell told you could ever work in this field?" I was like, huh? What? I left crying. He might not have seen me crying. I might not have let him see me crying, but I left crying that day. It wasn't that day. This interview wasn't that day. But
face it with hate. It takes love. It takes embracing these people, recognizing that they truly have a disease, like a disease, and treat it accordingly. It's been great. We've got a lot bigger push toward drug court programs, toward recovery programs.
I think this was all, honey, this was the campaign for the scam. And it wasn't just one person. This campaign went through nonprofits. It went through the court systems. It went through every kind of entity that was related. This was the beginning. This was where the money, they saw the money. They saw the money. And it started to go in place.
The Casey's Law program that's going strong here now in Plattsburgh to force people to get into recovery, to get into a rehab, whether it be inpatient, outpatient, to get some help. That resource wasn't available here before. Before it was jail or rehab. Is how we kind of force people into rehab.
He stares more out at the street than he does. I don't think he's looked at me once yet. You see what I'm saying? Do you guys understand just a little bit of how I felt over the years?
Now we have a Casey's Law program that can get people to circumvent the jail and get them straight into recovery, get them straight into rehab. We've got a partnership with Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation. Has a great relationship with several rehabs in the region. And together we're really making it. We really are. And it's really great. Really great.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. And I want to thank you for putting this together and for all that you do towards addiction and treatment in Letcher County. Because of what you guys are doing, it's given hope to the families. And it's also given hope to those who struggle with addiction to know that they're not always going to be seen in that negative light. So thank you so much for speaking with us.
Great. You're welcome. I'm really glad to be here. One more thing I would add, it's a beautiful Saturday. I understand those of you couldn't make it out to our rally, but all the resources, all the community partners, all the things that we have here, I have all those resources. I have my office at the Letcher County Attorney's Office. We're at 95 Main Street, just kind of catty-corner from the courthouse. If you or someone in your family is struggling with recovery, with addiction, come by my office, come see us. I've got a great staff. We've got all the brochures, all the contacts, all the resources. We can get you the help. And if you come by the office, we will help you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you.
All right.
Did you see that handshake? I tried to shake his hand. I tried to shake his hand, y'all. I mean, I just don't even know. Julie, that address has 5 nonprofits registered to it. Oh my gosh. I hate looking at myself too from 8 years ago. Now there's D.L. Hammonds sitting there in the yellow shirt. He's the little fella that ran for sheriff against Mickey. I know his daughter and I love his daughter. Now here is the chief of Whitesburg now. This is the chief.
Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, and welcome to Watchford. Mayor Craft, he couldn't be here today. He was on vacation, so he asked me to kind of fill in for him. And I'm very glad to be able to do so. I was listening to the lady sing a while ago, Carla, and there's such a powerful message in song and in testimony. And if there's one thing that I enjoy listening to is stories of recovery and all of that. All of our families at some point in time have been affected by some type of an addiction. I know Jamie Hatton said it was his brother. In my case, it was my father, that I grew up in an addicted home. But that's why today I'm thankful that we do have several solutions. There's several things out there to help. There's several people out there to help. I took a position on the board of directors out at Mountain Comprehensive Healthcare Corporation, and they have one of the finest treatment around. I think Sanjay Adams does an awesome job, and that's just what it's about. I started this job about 13 years ago, 12 years ago, and it was marijuana back then. I've seen a lot of marijuana, but now that I see things that's just that I've never seen, that I don't know how to deal with, and there's so many needles that's around, and that's what we're about. We're about trying our best to. We may have to incarcerate you for a day or 2 days, but we do promise that we'll do everything in our power to get you some help. And we've shut the road down for a lot of events, but I really think that this event today is probably the best one that we've closed the street down for. And I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad it's right here in downtown Wattsburg. And for the people that have been addicted and still recovering, we're behind you. We support you 110%. And if there's anything that we can do through our agency, through the police department, please don't hesitate. I know sometimes people are kind of embarrassed or ashamed to come to the police for help, but we've got the connections as well to get you in the right direction. And I'll say one more thing, and then I'll get out of the way. I have a pin on my uniform here that I took some training and got a couple months ago. And each morning when I look in the mirror, when I put my uniform on, I see that there's two eagles. There's two eagles here, and what that represents is mental illness, and not only people that have suffers with mental illness, but also addiction. So every morning when I look in the mirror, or when I'm driving down the road and I look down at my shirt, I'm always reminded of the people that are going through a battle. And I'm always reminded of the people that are trying to move forward. So today, thank you all for being here. God bless you, and we're here for you at any time. Welcome to Whitesburg. Thank you.
All right, now that's the chief of Whitesburg City Police now. And everybody that I've ever talked to says he's a really nice guy. I don't know anything about him personally, about him being a police officer or anything like that. Sure ain't never been pulled over by him. But everybody seems to like him that I know of. Let's see. And then I think the rest of them were just testimonials from people that were in rehab. Now, see, rehab, whenever they first started it, Operation Unite was the big rehab pusher, was Operation Unite. The way that people got their treatment paid for was through a voucher. that Operation Unite would usually provide if you were court ordered to rehab. And so there was a whole lot of money that was given to Operation Unite to then fund, provide those vouchers for people. And as far as I knew, they were really the only ones that did that. They were the trailblazers of that. And we needed these programs. We desperately needed help with the crisis that we were having. It started out as a, much needed program, a much needed change. We needed our law enforcement and our court systems needed to stop criminalizing a lot of the substance abuse, but in the right ways. Now I think drug court was a really great thing. It is a really great thing if you have people running it that are honest and trustworthy and aren't essaying the members, the clients, the inmates, and greed is ugly. Look at what they've turned this into. All right, so let's look at, I got a couple more things here. This was so this fella here is Tom Vicini. Tom Vicini is now the CEO of Operation Unite. I knew him because I went to school with his daughter back in like 6th grade. So he used to be the mayor of Lynch in Harlan County. Great guy. Absolutely wonderful man. I went to him several times and reached out to him because he was so high in Operation Unite. And I was trying to get a job. But because I was on Suboxone, they just would not have anything to do with me, period. All the way through. I mean, none of these people ever tried to help me get a job. Oh, well. Oh, well. But, so, let's see. Here's another one that I got. Whenever I was writing all of those, whenever I was writing all those applications for the SOAR Summit to let me exit out of this, is to present my ideas and stuff at the SOAR Summit. I'm gonna show you what the SOAR Summit is. I had one there, me and Hal Rogers. Let's see. There it is. He takes these with everybody, though. I'm sure. Everybody at the SOAR Summit. But there's me and old Hal. Shallow Hal, the money pal. Oh, goodness. You know, There's so much money in this rehab stuff, guys. I mean, you just wouldn't. People just don't even understand how much money. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Congressman Rogers announced a 30,000 private investment from Toyota Susho to launch an advanced manufacturing makerspace program at the Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College on the Middlesboro campus. The funding is leveraged by a recent federal funding announcement by the Economic Development Administration that is investing in 3 locations of the Kentucky Community and Technical College system in Eastern Kentucky. Well, and then I had a couple more. Let's see. There we go. Now this is Bevin. Governor Bevin.
Bringing exhibits here, talking about the projects that they have going on here. Congressman Rogers made a comment a moment ago about how the future is bright and that things are happening here. Do you feel this? I hope you do. I mean, how many of you truly believe that the best days in Eastern Kentucky are those that are unfolding right before us right now?
You see these rooms?
100% chance she's got strong opinions on butter, babies.
We had a board meeting with the school board a couple weeks ago. It's a little rough when you get introduced as being the guy who's sitting on the end who doesn't know where he is or what time it is. Kind of thanks for that introduction. But it's kind of true though. Yesterday morning, I was in Seoul, Korea, doing some media and some business meetings prior to hopping on a flight coming back. Had a couple as soon as I landed of additional meetings in Louisville, and then here we are here. So it is kind of all over the world. I mean, how blessed we are to live in a world where things are that expedient. There was a time not long ago when regions of America and regions of the world, like the one we are in, were seen as somehow off the beaten path. But quite literally, I was meeting with people yesterday morning on the other side of the world, talking about a company also in the energy space, also looking to make investments of up to $3 billion in the U.S. in phases, $1 billion at a time. They may or may not come to Kentucky, but we are working hard to make sure that they do. These are the kind of things that are possible that didn't seem to be possible just even a few short years ago. These are the kind of things that
This is where
In your tone of voice. She'll ask if you want anything from the store, and she's still gonna come home with 3 bags.
I don't even know where that's coming from.
2 cans.
Oh, that must be coming from under there. Sorry. What was I gonna say? This is where ARC, the rehab, got its start, was through the SOAR nonprofit. The Shaping Our Appalachian Region, that's what SOAR stands for. And it's a huge nonprofit, And it was started by the governor, a former governor, and it was started by Hal Rogers. And this is the organization that we showed you several weeks ago. We did a video on Shallow Hal, the Money Pal. And they, in one donation, they gave them $40 million. Our government gave SOAR $40 million. And do you know what they do? All they do is make relationships. That's all SOAR does, is build relationships with one company to another, or one company and a nonprofit, or whatever. It could be a government entity. It could be a police department. It could be a city hall. It could be anything. They put people together. Why? They need millions and millions and millions of dollars as a matchmaker? I don't know. But it's huge. It has ballooned. Like, it started in like 2016. I don't even know what day it's or what year it started, but it started in the teens. And every year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They chose my applications 3 years in a row. And I went down, or maybe I might have only presented 2 years. And then the third year, I think I worked for the television. And so I was there just recording it the third year. But the first 2 years I took and I presented, or I applied with my own programs, and they chose them. They approved them, chose them. And so I went as a presenter, and I set up my table, and I had all my programs, put up, and it was neat. It was really, really neat. And the governor's assistant came and looked at all my stuff. There was a whole bunch of people that came and looked at all my stuff, but nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. I gained a whole lot of connections from the summit, but I've been able to watch. I'm glad that I was able to go there, though, because it gave me such invaluable experience. And, it gave me the opportunity to kind of see all of this stuff back then, when they were putting the campaign for Rehab together. This is where it was building. They were building it right here.
It's exciting for me as the governor to be able to go and represent on your behalf, to be able to tell people about this extraordinary gem that we have, this stunning thing called Kentucky, called Eastern Kentucky. The work ethic, the values, the pride that people take. It's extraordinary. I was helping earlier in northeastern Kentucky. I was up just outside of Moorhead, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Hinton Mills, a company that has been dedicated to serving farmers in the northeastern part of the state for 100 years, and their growth potential and their excitement as they celebrate their centennial. It's fun to see when things are really working. And indeed, that when the future really is bright ahead. If you remember, how many of you, and I'll try to shade my eyes and see, how many of you were here on that cold winter day? I believe it was in December. It was either December or maybe early January of 2014, 15. I guess it was actually 13. December of 2013, the very first SOAR Summit. How many of you all were here? So a number of you. Excellent. What's encouraging to me is, I'll bet you, unless you're being shy and not raising your hand, that was maybe 15 to 20% of the people here. Many of you were not here on that day. But for those of you, which is fine, what this tells me is that we're getting newer people coming to this equation. And for those of you that were here, remember the nature of that conversation. It was an all day long, or the better part of a day, type of a presentation from the stage. And the people that were on the stage and the people who did most of the speaking were not from Kentucky. They were people from other places, like the Iron Range in northern Michigan and places like this, where they had seen a downturn in their economy and they were coming to bring us hope. And this place was even more packed at that time. And the irony was, when things were more bleak, when the times were darker and hope seemed to be farther away, if it even existed, then the sense of concern was high on the part of people in this community and in this region. The place was packed out with people hoping for a glimmer of hope. And now, as you are seeing and hearing in just 5 short years, we are seeing the culmination of all of the ideas that Congressman Rogers really had when he launched this thing just a handful of years ago. And now we're not just talking about hypotheticals. We're not just listening to other people tell us, hey, this could in fact happen. Things are actually happening. The old adage, which has then become a truism in many respects and famously worked into speeches by people like Abraham Lincoln, and now to the point that it's the motto of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, which is united we stand and divided we fall, is so true indeed. And I want to thank each and every one of you, especially those of you who came to that very first.
Now, this is the
It was in the
governor.
clearance third blanket, but nothing from the list. She'll say, it's not that I'm.
I don't know why it pulls that other one up every time I exit out of full screen. This governor is the same one that gave Tweety Bird his pardon. This is Matt Bevin. This is also the governor who's got like 15 kids and 10 of them's adopted. And one of them is like adopted from Africa or something and has sued him recently. This all happened recently. The kids sued him for abuse and neglect and just all kinds of stuff. Matt Bevin and the rest of them, all of them, they all have such a way of talking where, you know, all these speeches, they give this exact same speech every single year. And whoever the governor is currently goes and does this event. Every year they come to Pikeville and they do this big event, the SOAR Summit. And they speak, they tell all this stuff, you know, and it just makes them, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. They have just blew all this smoke. They're pouring the Kool-Aid. They were pouring the Kool-Aid back then. Let's see how far it goes.
In a single year was $5.1 billion, which is a lot of money. $5.1 billion had been invested in Kentucky in the best year we had ever seen. Last year, that was prior to just a couple years ago. The last couple years, we've seen a remarkable difference, and in partial measure because of folks like you. People like Chuck Sexton, who represents a whole series of counties in the eastern part of the state, who I run into Chuck all over the world as he and I and others are out representing these communities and representing the Commonwealth as a whole. Last year, we had over $9.2 billion in a single year, nearly double the best year we had ever previously had. We've had $16 billion worth of announcements, actually just short and about to be quite a bit over, $16 billion in capital investment in Kentucky in the last 2.5 years. We've never had a 4-year period in any time in our history to have even close to that much.
I think that it's
mad, which means she's absolutely mad. She's just pacing herself so she could circle back.
God, I think it's very like, I don't know the rules. I'm not a lawyer and I'm no politician for sure. But I don't know what the rules are when a nonprofit works with, you know, the government fund. I mean, nonprofits get federal grants all the time. But the way that SOAR works with all these other for-profit companies, And there's so much money, like you would not believe if we saw that one check that Hal Rogers gave to SOAR for $40 million, and then you go in and you start looking at their IRS records, I've got all them too. And it says that all of these people don't get no money. There's no salaries. None of even the, so I tried to look up, it's really hard to find the financial stuff involved in that, because the way that I knew about nonprofit, they hire independent contractors, the nonprofit that I worked for. So I was hired in as an independent contractor. And the salaries are kind of written into the grant that you're working on. I don't know how SOAR works. I know that nonprofits can be put into like 2 different categories. You've got where they can be completely funded, where they can employ people and have actual employees working under them. And, they offer maybe benefits or something, I don't know, but they're hired on, they've got enough funding for the organization that they can hire a director and a C, or I don't know what the titles are for all of it, but they can hire all those roles, that they would need to run the organization, all the titles. If the nonprofit is not funded in that way, and they are funded like maybe one small grant at a time, then they hire them like they did me as an independent contractor. And so those salaries would not be able to be found on the IRS part of it, the tax forms that would be public record. You're not going to find all that stuff on those. So it's really kind of hard. I don't have the skills, I guess, to dig through them like I would like to. So if any of you all out there have those skills, join me. hillbillycrime@gmail.com. All right. Let's see. And I'm just going to kick it off of him. And let's see. And I had a couple more here. That was just a picture. I thought it was more than that, but it wasn't. I got some here for Jenkins, too. Now, here's a bunch of people that everybody's going to know.
When there's a problem, it's really good that we can get out and do this.
This is Barry Engel. Oh, well, here, we might as well go back here.
Circumstances sort of got me where I couldn't go back, so I'm going to have to go back and try to win it. After Mr. Hall died, I didn't get appointed, so now I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to get out and try to earn it.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's good to see you here at the festival, and we'll look forward to seeing you for the rest of the weekend, and good luck on your campaign, and
we'll be right here, and the people at Jenkins are great. They're super fantastic people.
This was Jenkins Days. I think this might have been 2018. Yep, this was 2018. That's Ricky Rose, or PVA. He won for the PVA office, the Property Value Administration Office.
got to shoot all of them and pictures of all of them. Great people.
Yeah, we're having a lot of good music here this weekend, so it's a nice place to come out and visit in the fall every year.
Yeah.
So thank you for talking to us.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right.
Thank you all.
We're here with Mayor Todd DeFries, and we're here at Jenkins Days Festival, and we just wanted to come and say hello and see how you're enjoying the festival so far.
We're having a great time. It's weather's perfect, a lot of people out. The biggest crowd we've had on Thursday night. I've talked to different vendors. They say they did as much as I halfway through the day. They did nice here at the same time.
Yeah, it's awesome. How many years have you been there?
Almost 4 years. I was city administrator for 3.5 years before that. Been on city council 5 times.
Did you? Do you have a real good rapport with the citizens of Jenkins?
Well, we think so. We try to help do what we can, what we can.
Yeah, well, this is a really good turnout for the Jenkins Days Festival.
It is, and our festival committee does a lot of great work with the American Board. They raise money, they have sponsors that makes it happen. They start the month after, get ready for next year. So it's just a lot of work. It's our city employees, the police department, fire department. It takes a lot of people to try to make it safe.
It's a full-time job. Well, we're really happy to be working with you now here at ARC, and we're glad that
we actually had our TV station here in Jenkins. So we worked, the guy that owned it or ran it or whatever was in Virginia, over in Norton, Virginia. That's where ARC TV started. And then he hired me to work over here on the Kentucky side. So anytime that they had a festival or any kind of an event, I went and recorded it and I did everything.
that you've given us this opportunity, and we're trying to get out and do more here in Eastern Kentucky and here in Letcher County.
The coverage is great. We enjoy seeing every show we see. We like to see a lot of stuff in Eastern Kentucky. Y'all done a great job.
Well, thank you so much. And we'll see you around the festival. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, here we are at the Jenkins Days Festival, and we're talking with Miss Linda Willoughby, who is our guest of honor here. He's running.
And Miss Linda Willoughby, if you all want to go back and watch that, you can click the link in the description. But she was an artist. She's a really, really neat lady. I haven't seen her in several years now, I think. Oh, a couple years. She's always there with her art. She's an awesome lady. Awesome lady. And this is D.L. Hammonds. He's the one who ran against Mickey
For sheriff, as our Republican candidate, and we're going to ask him a little bit about what he's doing down here and how it's going.
Yeah. I'm going to help the kids out, and the policemen will have respect for everybody and anybody. And it's the sheriff is made for law and order, and it's for protect and serve.
Yes.
You know, and so we will be a good deputies. All of them will be good deputies, and have special deputies, which we don't have now.
Now, DL, really, if you listen to him, he was ahead of his time. DL knew what he was talking about, but I don't think anybody took him seriously. I don't think anybody took him seriously at all. But if you listen to him, he knew exactly what he was talking about. Hindsight's kind of neat, ain't it? To look back on this from so many years ago. It's neat.
Yeah, respect is a very big thing for people in the community.
Respected, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You're the only Republican candidate since the primary.
Yeah.
And do you see a good turnout?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. All through the county and all through the Jenkins up here.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Isom next.
Yeah. Well, it seems like we've had a real good turnout here at Jenkins Days.
Yeah.
And so have you had a chance to get to know the people in the community today?
Yeah, and I love all the people. Yeah, I enjoy meeting them and talking to them, and having a good time with them.
Yeah, well, we're sure glad to see you up here, and we're glad that you took a few minutes to speak with us here. So tomorrow we're having the parade that's going to be coming down, and all of the candidates will be here. And so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I was a beginner. Look, I feel like I'm looking at like I was such a baby, but I was 45 years old or 40 years old. Anyway.
Especially here in Appalachia, in the mountains. You know,
I'm more into taking care of the kids, keeping them off of drugs, and educating them, in school. I'll be going to all the schools,
part of it.
do the Board of Education, and I'll be teaching them,
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of like the McGruff. Back in the day. That's what we need.
Tell them what it'll do to their family and their friends, in their own body.
Well, a lot of the kids here in this area have grown up with addiction in their families.
They have, and we got to put a stop to that. Slow it down, stop it.
A lot of the kids today, they already know what addiction is because their mommies or their daddies or their grandparents or, their uncles or aunts, somebody in their family has dealt with addiction.
Sure
it doesn't just affect the addict, it affects the entire family around.
And we need a rehabilitation, for them, like they do in Barbersville, Kentucky. With
have some
200 women.
We have some, but we do need more of an interaction with law enforcement and the people.
Now, see, here I go preaching my little preachy thing that nobody wanted to hear back then.
In the community.
And they need to, we need to get out more, the police departments, And I'll be going all the time. I'm single and I'll be going all the time. And the sheriff office will be open up all the time too. I'm going to see to that.
Even if it's you out driving
it's going
around.
to be me. I'm keeping it open. They close up early now. And on Friday night, you have to call the state trooper. It hazard. 911. And that won't go on no more.
Well, we're sure glad to talk to you. And you give us hope, brother. You give us hope for community policing. So thank you, DL. I appreciate you talking to us.
It's good talking to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARC TV, and we're standing here with Barry Ingalls, who is one of our candidates for sheriff down at the Jenkins Days Festival. And so how did you like the big turnout that we've had here at Jenkins Days so far?
I've been really impressed. There's a lot of people here. This is my first venture into politics, and I didn't realize, other than working these, I didn't really have any idea how much goes into it. Todd DePriest and the city council has done a really magnificent job getting all this together.
Yeah, he told us that the month after this is over, they start working for the next year.
I can believe it. I can really believe it.
How many years have you worked with the sheriff's department?
I retired from the state police 6 years ago, and upon retirement, I went to work for Danny Webb at the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. Prior to that, I was with the state police for 25 years.
So you have an extensive amount of experience in law enforcement.
I'm one of the old guys, yeah. So.
Well, let me ask you, what is your stance on community policing?
It's a really good tool. However, the situation here is same with every other situation in the coal fields. We are kind of restricted by the amount of money that's we can use to hire people. As of right now, we only have 3 deputies, counting myself, along with Sheriff Webb, and we can work day shifts, but we just don't have the ability or the finances to have 24-hour around-the-service police officers right now. We would like to, but it's just not feasible at this time.
Well, community policing is its premise is getting out into the community, getting to know the people that you serve,
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I really like about these festivals and having you all here is that it gives you all a chance to get to know people that you didn't know
that's
prior,
true. That's true. The way things are, the only time we're called to a residence is when there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's really good that we can get out and do this and let people see the other side of us and let them know that we're not strictly law enforcement officers and that
you're not just there to arrest them.
Yeah, we're not just there to arrest them, but we're people too, and we can have a good time with everyone else.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, if you can tell with Barry, it was I was much more comfortable. He kind of makes you feel more comfortable talking to him. Some people just make me stutter. It doesn't take much to make me stutter either.
We thank you for being here and taking the time to get to know everybody and letting the people get to know you.
My pleasure.
And so thank you, and we'll see you next time.
I'll be right
and
here.
This is Elizabeth Jones with ARC TV, and we serve the Central Appalachian region. So we'll see you next time.
Not a big old guy. Somebody did that the other night too. Almost.
Okay, we're rolling.
Yeah.
Now this is one of our magistrates.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Jones. We're down here at the Jenkins Days Festival, and we're having a real good turnout tonight, having a lot of people here, and we're here with Mr. Benny, and I'm going to let you talk about what you're running for and what your candidacy is, and so let us have it.
Well, I want to say this, first of all, I appreciate everybody's support in the primary. We were able to come through that with a good win, and I sure appreciate that. And I just want to thank everybody for all their help and everything that they turned out and showed great support. And we're here at Jenkins Days again this year. It seems like we campaigned for a long time, but we worked hard, and we were blessed to be able to get through that. You know, our purpose and goal for running for magistrate is to see if we can do better for the county. You know, I know we're in a economic hardship and there's a lot of things going on that's hurt us, loss of jobs and things, but hopefully if we can get enough of us together and get to working together and do good, that we can bring some industry in and be able to get everybody on the same page and you know, recruit some good businesses, let people know what we've got here in Letcher County. You know, we got an industrial park, got beautiful towns, like our city of Jenkins, and you know, we're blessed here, and we would love to have some industry and some jobs.
One of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize.
Everybody loves Benny, and I don't think, well, I mean, maybe not everybody, but a whole lot of people like Benny, and I don't think that anybody could beat him. You know, like if they did try to run against him for magistrate, people just like him too much, or not too much, but they like him real well. So I just don't, and it's all a popularity contest, you guys. Every bit of our politics are popularity. If they like you, you know, I don't personally, I don't have a lot of faith in people, and I don't think that a lot of people even know what they're voting for. You know, like, I don't think that they know much about the people that they vote for. I just don't think that people put a lot of importance in what their resumes are.
Is what a magistrate does. Can you tell us a little bit about what exactly a magistrate does?
Well, really, magistrates are a board of government, sort of like the city council is here in town. They assist the judge. They sort of oversee their district, make sure the roads and things like that and the structures are okay. And, you know, that's one of the big things, help, you know, balance the budget is one of the bigger things. So they look at the financial side and the stability of the county. And the main thing is work together to try to build up the county. You know, that's the thing.
Of the judge executive.
Yes,
right?
yes, the county judge executive, yes.
And so you the different magistrates from the different areas come together like on a board?
Yes.
Is what you're saying?
Yes.
and make up one big group
Right.
that help him do his job.
Yeah, we assist him. He's the judge executive, so it's his job, to sort of do the running of the county, and it's our job to assist him in that and to be able to, for one guy to oversee the entire county. It's a big county, 24,000 some people, and it's a big county. So, I think it's good for us to assist each other, for the magistrates to join together and help each other. And if I'm struggling in my district, it'd be great for all the magistrates to come here or me to go there, and let's help one another and
have that support.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all that sounds real good, but what does that mean? It sounds good. What's it mean? So if I'm struggling in my district, the rest of the magistrates are going to come help me. And if one of them are struggling in their district, we're all going to go help them. Help with what? I didn't quite understand that.
Well, like you said earlier, you don't have an opponent in the fall.
Yes.
So you're pretty much smooth sailing.
Yeah, it's I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
I really am. But as of right now, no opponents. So we're glad. We're glad of that.
Well, you have a lot of support in this county.
We did. We were very blessed and very thankful for everybody that came out and showed great support behind us.
Well, just a little bit of a disclaimer. He goes to the same church that I do sometimes. So
Yes.
He's a good Christian man.
Yeah, we do visit there. It's wonderful place.
Yeah. Well, thank you for talking to us, and we're excited that everybody's here this weekend, and I'm sure we'll see you at the next festival.
That sounds great. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Jones again with AR.
Okay, now this, I hate my face.
RCTV.
Every time I stop it, it's like, I've got the giggles tonight so bad, y'all. I'm sorry. This is the jailer. This is jailer Bert Sloan. He's not the jailer anymore. His brother is. So Bert Sloan retired like 2 months before Mickey shot Kevin. So he's not the jailer anymore. His brother is. And I'll just leave it there.
And we're still down here at Jenkins Days Festival, and we've ran into Mr. Bert Sloan, who has just won the jailer position. So we're going to let him talk to us and tell us a little bit about how things are going and what's getting ready to take place down here in your new administration.
Well, I've been doing a little bit of research, finding out what the jailer's job is, been looking at the law. I'm really excited. It seems like it's a million years away.
Yeah.
Because I've got like 109 days until I take office. I'm excited. I've been just looking at some programs to try to implement into the jail.
Now, whenever Bert was running and campaigning, I went to him and tried to talk to him about Suboxone program in the jail, because there was, in the state of Kentucky, there was not one jail that would allow an inmate to take Suboxone. It didn't matter if you were in a clinic, if you had a doctor and you had a prescription for it, the jail would not let you take your medicine. And they wouldn't let you see a doctor to get it either. I wrote my master's thesis on this subject. And when he was campaigning, I tried to talk to him about it, and he was all about yes. And, even told me he'd hire me, if we got into the jailer and da-da-da-da-da. So then whenever he became jailer and I went down there to talk to him, he wouldn't even look me in the eye. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. He wouldn't even lift his head. So I left that. I left that meeting in tears too. But I didn't let none of them see me cry, y'all.
That would be positive programs that may be able to help people what time they are incarcerated. It's the duty of the jailer to incarcerate people and hold them until they're released by the courts. And what time I got them there, I'd like to be able to get them some programs that maybe would help them out a little bit.
Have you been looking into the living conditions of the jail down there?
Well, I've been by the jail a couple times, and I understand that it's not something that's just Letcher County, it's around the state, that there is overcrowding in the jail system around the state, not only the jails, but the penitentiary as well.
Are you committed to doing whatever it is that you have to do to try to better those kinds of conditions?
I'll do my very best.
Absolutely.
But now,
I believe in you, brother.
But now one of the things that you got to consider is any time that you're dealing with a jail situation, it's not the jailer that holds them. We're the ones that hold them, but it's the courts and the police officers that make the arrest and the judge that commits them to the jail. And upon their release, that comes from pretrial, comes from the judge, and it comes from Department of Corrections. Just depends what level you're held under. Right. But we'll do as much as possible to try to alleviate any problems that we have. But now it's something that's going on across the.
Okay, let's stop. Paula says, what confuses me, Miss Elizabeth, did the people in jail have to go cold turkey and not medically brought down? Yes, absolutely. People died. People almost died. But people did die in southeastern Kentucky from all kinds of situations relating to withdrawal, I guess. Now they're not going to say it. They're not going to say these people died from this because, then it would look bad upon them. But I've lived in this area all my life. 18 years old, I started in the old Harlan County Jail, so I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. They would let people lay there. And every single time that I went to jail, I had to withdraw cold turkey every time. And several times my mom put me in there because she thought that I was just, too far gone at the time. And she was afraid that I wouldn't make it. So she would go and have me arrested for something. She'd make something up if she had to, but usually she didn't have to make nothing up. But she would have me arrested, and I would get arrested and go in and have to, detox up there, go through withdrawals in the jail, and then she would drop the charges, and then the charges would be dismissed and I'd be let out, but I'd be clean when I got out, or at least detoxed anyway. So yes, absolutely, it was hell. It was horrendous. People were not, they were just thrown in jail cells and left there. You were lucky to get a Tylenol. Now, I did not personally spend any time in the Letcher County Jail. I spent one night in the Letcher County Jail, and that was when they arrested me over Alan, over my child. And they tried to get me, hurt me. I spent one night. But all the time that I ever did, it was like in old Letcher, or the old Harlan County Jail. So I'm grateful that I didn't have to spend any time in the Letcher County Jail. I'm really grateful. But they were all very dangerous. All these jails were very dangerous. You think about it. You had Ben Fields as a deputy in that jail for 10 years. And you had his wife that was a deputy in that jail. I've heard so many horror stories, absolutely horror stories, from not just inmates, but inmates' families and former employees. Former employees. One in particular said several administrations ago, he was hired. It was his job to take the female to the washing machines to wash all the laundry for the women. And he said she got up there and put all the laundry in and did whatever it was she was supposed to do. And then she walked over to him and was standing in front of him and said all of a sudden she just dropped her drawers to her ankles and bent over. And he said, I was horrified, like, what are you doing? And she was like, what? This is the normal thing. What are you doing? And he said, absolutely not. He said, I made her get her stuff. And he said, I took her back to the cell. He said, I put her back in the cell. He said, and never again did I ever take the females out to do their own laundry. He said, I know the other guards thought I was crazy. He said, but I had them give me their laundry. He said, and I took it up and did it, I guess, I think is what he said. But he said, I would never be alone with one of the females like that again. And I said, well, didn't you tell anybody? Like, wouldn't you have went to your boss and said something to him? And he said, hell no, I wasn't. He said, I didn't know who knew and who didn't know. He said, obviously, there were people who worked there that were in the know. He said, and I didn't know who was who. He said, so I just kept my head down, my mouth shut, and I don't think he worked there very long. But that was from a former employee who's very credible, by the way.
Across Eastern Kentucky.
Yes.
So we'll look at that. And
Are you looking at grants? Trying to get into some grant money?
Actually, I have been. I got some stuff from a lady from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office that she sent me that might apply to us. I've not seen these grants before. I've not been involved with this before, but we're looking at them. I've talked to a few people, and hopefully we're going to get some, maybe get some funds for that.
Yes. Are you going to try to implement? I know that we have a few jail ministries that come down there. Are you going to try to make that an important part of letting Christian vet?
I was trying to get in there at this time. I had been trying to go in with ministry when Don McCall was jailer, and he wouldn't let me in the front door. He would not even talk to me. He wouldn't even look at me. So this is why I'm asking him this way.
Vetted, but are you going to make that an important part of holding people, is the availability to Christian people?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a very important part of the process.
Yes.
Is developing a support system for people.
They took that and ran with it with the preacher man, buddy. They opened the door and laid the red carpet out for Tweety Bird to come right on in there with his preaching.
That are hooked on drugs, and I find that when people talk about being hooked on drugs, that's one of the things that they heavily rely on.
Yes.
I have talked to some ministers, and I've talked to different ministers across the county. But yeah, that's something, it's going on now, and that's something that will continue. And if we can actually step it up, if we can step it up a little.
I don't know any preachers or any ministries other than like the lady that I said you can't outgive God. That lady was the jail ministry lady for the women. She went for years to the jail with her ministry. And I wanted to go with her, but she wouldn't let nobody go with her. because she was so terrified that if she brought somebody with her and they did something while they were there that they weren't supposed to do, it would stop her from being able to come, which I completely understood that. Totally understood that. So I tried to go by myself, and I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed.
A little bit more, then we'll try to get that process going on more than what is going on right now. But that's something that's been going on for years, and it's a much needed service. And you know,
he wouldn't let me in either, even though he told me he would. He didn't.
As it gets closer, I've talked to a lot of people. I've even talked to you. As it gets closer to my time to take off,
He talked to me, all
I'd like
right.
to sit down with some folks and maybe do some brainstorming, come up with some ideas and some programs that we can implement in the jail that will be able to successfully help people prepare for when they are released from jail.
Yeah, one of the things that I've seen personally is just it's idle hands. You know, when you have too much time on your hands, you get yourself in trouble. So a lot of times when people are in that drug environment, they forget what they like. They don't have hobbies anymore. They don't. Their brains are not focused in on things that they can do other than the drugs and all of the stuff that comes with that lifestyle. So I'm really happy that you're going to start implementing programs in there that helps people, like maybe possibly painting or gardening or something that teaches them a skill, something that teaches them how to use their time wisely instead of, you know, being bored.
That was the premise of a lot of the programs that I was proposing to all these people. Let's teach people how to grow their own tomato. Let's teach people how to grow their own lettuce. They can make their own salad like mommy does. Just walk right outside their door and pick their stuff. There was all kinds of programs that I was proposing. Jeez, oh Pete, my cat just did all kinds of bad stuff.
Boredom is a big thing that happens or that causes relapse.
I agree with you 100%. I've actually talked to a lot of different people about things that they're associated with. Some of them are people that deal with the NA, and some of those people have come forward and asked that if we can meet, that they would like to come in. Activities that will be beneficial. I know that it's going to be a tough job, but I am absolutely just really excited about the situation. In 4 years, I may look and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I've done." But I'm absolutely excited about the situation. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, something that I thought about was possibly partnering with the extension office, and you could grow tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets, stuff like that. That's really simple and easy to do.
He was my God. Will you please help me? My cats have just knocked all my stuff off of here. Again. Sorry, y'all.
And to teach people how to do.
Well, that's something that anybody that comes with an interest, that we can sit down and talk about it. And if it's something that's beneficial for the program that I'm trying to run, I'm definitely interested in talking to people about that. Whether it be community members, whether it be heads of church, just anybody that has any kind of ideas of being able to make things better. I'm really interested in that.
So you hear that right now from our jailer, our new jailer. If you have some ideas, come down and talk to him and let him hear them. And we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. And thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And I'm Elizabeth with ARC TV, and we'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARC TV, and we're still down here at Jenkins Days Festival, and we're talking to our Jenkins Mayor, Todd DePriest. And I wanted to ask you, we've heard a lot of things about what the big projects that are starting to that are being thought of here in Jenkins. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Which
Get it out there, Elizabeth. Get it out.
one you want to know about? We've got a lot of stuff in the works.
Well, one night when we were down here at the city council meeting, we heard about the possibility of a train caboose coming in.
Yeah, that we're still working on the logistics, trying to get it here. I'm pretty sure that CSX is going to work with us to donate one. It's a matter of how close they can get it to us, where we're going to set it, and get it moved to town. So we're trying to pick a place for it that'll be good for a long time. So
It'll bring some kind of tourism here, even if it's just a couple people at a time.
well, anything to give it something that we haven't had for years. They've talked about a caboose. We've got the Railroad and Coal Museum, so it'll be something in addition to it, maybe, and maybe even somewhere else, been on the best use for it. And we're trying to talk to some different folks, trying to figure out the best place to put it.
Did I hear something about a pub coming to Jenkins?
That's news to me. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. That's talk for you.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a real good turnout for Jenkins Days so far, and I'm really excited about the parade that they're going to have tomorrow. It seems like there's going to be quite a few of our youth involved in it.
And more, it's built about every year. You know, they've sort of got away from bands and floats and all that stuff. So we're working real hard to try to get that back in there, get that kind of pride back into it. People's busy, don't have time a lot of times to do stuff like that. But, you know, that's sort of a community building thing to get together and put stuff like together. So, you know, we hope everybody comes out tomorrow for the parade and supports it, and hopefully it'll be even bigger next year.
Yeah, one of the things that I've talked to some of the candidates for sheriff about is community policing. And I know that we have a real lack of funding. You know, where we are geographically makes that very difficult with funds. So I know that we have a few law enforcement officers, but how do you feel about your officers actually getting out into the community and getting to know people on a different level other than just when they see them, they're being taken to jail? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't want them to only contact me as if they're in trouble. You know, usually when people call the police, that's because they've exhausted all efforts to take care of what's going on. So then they call and police shows up. So that's one thing we talk to them about, understanding how to deal with those kind of situations. And when it's, you know, everything else they've tried to win away, understand that that's somebody's family member, somebody's father, mother, child, whatever. And, you know, just be that kind of personal touch with them. So they do a good job. Funding's limited. Train people. It costs a lot of money to send somebody to the academy for them to be gone and cover the road while it's gone. But we're looking. We've hired one the other day. We're looking at 2 more in the next few weeks. So we'll be getting back to full staff here in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm personally getting my master's degree in criminal justice. So I've learned a whole lot on the academic side of policing. And it seems to me like that's a very important part of a community that we don't see enough of. And it warms my heart to see all these candidates here today or this weekend, because it gives the people in the community a chance to converse with these candidates, with these law enforcement officers.
Can you tell that I was drinking the Kool-Aid back then? I mean, I was trying, y'all. I was trying so hard. And they all just laughed at me. They just laughed at me.
On another level, other than, you know, a negative situation.
And they can express their views and thoughts and what they think about what the policing should look like. And that's important. We need to know what people are looking for, where the problems are. You know, sometimes there can be problems we don't know about until we're told about it. Yeah. And sometimes you can head off situations that may become dangerous or, you know, whatever. But you're better off.
Everything that me and him just talked about right there is not what happened with all this crap out here in our neighborhood. Everything he just said right there is not what they did. Nope. 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 Nope.
If you get public input on anything you do, whether it's some of our National Endowment for the Arts things we deal with, murals or whatever it ends up being, you know, we like to have public input and hear from people what they want, what they're looking for, what they like to have.
Yeah, well, you hit it on the head there a second ago when you said every single person is somebody's child, mother, father. You know, and one of the problems that we have in our area is the amount of drug abuse that we have. And we are also seeing from some of these candidates the interest in getting into the school systems and educating our kids. Education is the number one key to try and to prevent a future drug addict. And there's not one family in this area that has not been touched by drug abuse in some way, shape, or form. A lot of our kids already know what drug addiction is before they're getting the education.
Yeah, and that's a problem that they're dealing with nationwide.
Yes.
Some of the different conferences and deals I go to, they look at the different parts of it, whether it's education, if it's going to jail, if it's the faith-based or whatever it ends up being. And sometimes it takes a different combination for different people. One might work for one, won't work for everybody. And sometimes it takes a little while to figure that part out. But that's something we look at. It's not just getting them to jail and hoping the court system can do something with it. If they come to us and say, hey, you know, we need some help with something, we've got some resources available to get them into a center or faith-based help, whatever it might be. So, you know, it's not just about putting everybody in jail. No. It's trying to make a difference in somebody's life to want to get off of it.
Yeah. Well, more successful approaches are holistic. You know, they address each specific area of life. You know, it's not just a medical issue. It's not just, like you said, going to jail. You know, it's the mental health. We have such a problem with mental health here. And one of our our new jailer was talking about trying to get more mental health services into the jail.
That's definitely a piece of it. And more and more with the light being shed on the problem and the federal money trickling down and state money being available, you know, more beds are opened up in the facilities, more therapists, more of the, you know, the people that's been through that process coming out and becoming therapists that really understands what it is to go through that and what it is to do it. And they make some great people to help with that.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do that there is a huge stigma when it comes to being a recovering addict even. That stigma never leaves. So what is your view on that for people when they have turned their lives around and something has worked for them, working with your city even?
I was talking about myself. I was trying to sneak my foot in that door. I tried like hell, man.
And do you see that as a positive thing that they actually have that experience, that past experience to be able to draw from?
Well, and that's definitely something that's got to be looked at because as more jobs are created, filling the pool for those folks is going to involve bringing people in like that. And not in like that as being a bad thing, but you may have the best worker you ever had come out of a program because they've seen the second chance and they've seen the new opportunity that's been afforded them and maybe the best workers that you could have.
Yeah. Well, there's a great discrimination towards people when they have turned their lives around. Some people, some law enforcement even have that us against them mentality. You know, it's more of a militaristic style approach. And so we're really excited that you've done such great things with Jenkins, and we're glad that you have given our ARC family the opportunity that you've given us to be able to get out here and put on these.
Well, you can tell I've been very, very nice to all these people. Like, I mean, honey, I don't know what else I could have done. So whenever people look at like my show now and the criticisms that I speak, they're earned criticisms. They're earned. I've watched it. I've been there from the beginning. I tried really, really hard. I was always really nice. I was always really professional. I tried really, really hard, and they just did not want anything to do with me. Nothing. Like, they gave me interviews, but that's it. That's it. They all knew. They all knew what I was talking about. They all knew. They just say what they say on the camera, and then they turn around and walk away, and then they don't talk to you again. So anybody that wants to say anything bad about me now, you know, like blah 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 blah. Here we go. Video don't lie, and I'm glad I got lots of it.
Kinds of interviews for the community, for the county, for the people, so they can get to know our leaders, our county leaders and our city leaders, and we're grateful for that.
Well, it's public information, and that's what it's supposed to be about. And it, you know, some stuff's really good, some stuff's good, some stuff's not.
They just didn't like me. Like, that's the same way with mommy. Like, my mom is that way. Some people just don't like her, period. And none of these people liked me, which is fine. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. You gotta have a thick skin. I've grew a very thick skin.
Not so good. Far as things going on in the community, but what they need to understand is we're dealing with the same stuff they're dealing with in the western part of the state. I go to conferences and conventions with mayors from Glasgow and the western part of the state, and we're all dealing with the same thing. We're trying to put people back to work. We're trying to get people through addiction and these kind of problems. And but that's why we go to these type things, is to learn from other people. We meet with the health specialists from UK and try to get an idea of what we can do if we deal with something on a daily basis. When they show up and say, this is what I've got going on, what can you do? Then we've got enough resources in one area or the other to help them.
Well, we thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll see you tomorrow at the Great Parade.
All righty.
Thank you so much.
See you.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARC TV. And we're still down here at Jenkins Days Festival, and we're talking to the VFW. Will you tell us your name and tell us what y'all are doing down here today?
Yes, my name is Charles Holland. I'm with the Veterans of Foreign War Post 5829 in Whitesburg. And we're just down here today doing a sign-up drive, trying to get some membership and rebuild our post a little bit. We've been down on membership. A lot of the older members aren't active anymore, so we're trying to get some new members interested and tell them what the VFW has to offer.
A new generation,
yes,
huh? All right, so I'm guessing that you are a veteran.
I am. The thing that's unique about the Veterans of Foreign Wars is that we are an organization of combat veterans. All of our Class A members are combat veterans. They've served in a war overseas somewhere.
Where did you serve?
I served in Iraq in 2003.
Well, thank you for your service,
Thank you for
number
your support.
one. And
Video's all about shaking people's hands, wasn't it? Shake my hand. Shake my hand.
well, we're grateful that you're down here today. Have you seen a lot of successful signups?
Not yet. We just started here. We've talked to a lot of people out of state that's come in to see, I guess, just for the festival and see family. But we're going to be here till at least 9 o'clock tonight, and hopefully we'll get to meet some of the veterans over here in Jenkins.
Yeah. Is there just one place in Whitesburg that's
For the VFW, yes. There's only one VFW post in Letcher County, and that's the one in Whitesburg.
How many members do you have?
Right now, we're at roughly 135, but there's 895 combat veterans in Letcher County. So
that was my next
we
question.
we have our work cut out for us, and that's why we're out here really wanting to connect those guys.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that I was just talking to our mayor, Jenkins mayor, Todd DePriest, and some of the candidates for sheriff about is community policing and how important it is for law enforcement and our leaders, period, to get out into the community and to start rebuilding that sense of community.
Right.
Like what you're saying, the numbers have dwindled. It's because we don't have that sense of community, like what are with the older generations.
Yes, ma'am, and that's something that we're trying to do too. As a matter of fact, tomorrow at the Post, we're having a free pig roast for the members in the community, family, friends. We have a member that's going to be there all night tonight, smoking a whole hog. So, and all that's going to be free. And last week we had the JROTC out of Letcher County Central. They came down and they worked cleaning our posts, painted our kitchen. I couldn't tell you everything they done. They worked all day long. We fed them pizza, and they were just happy as they could be to be helping out.
Yeah, that's one good thing we can say about Letcher County is that we have an awesome JROTC.
We do.
They have
really
an awesome
kids.
Leader,
Yes.
and that makes the difference.
Yes.
The leadership makes the follower.
The JROTC program, my oldest son graduated from Whitesburg, LCC. They have a really, really good JROTC program, and that the man that ran that, I think he's still over it. You talk about an amazing person. I forget his name, but he is. I hope he's still there. I don't even know if he's still over the JROTC, but man, I tell you what, I loved him. He was really, really good to all those kids up there, and he taught those kids how to be soldiers.
It does, and the Sarge there, he's going to be participating in our essay program that we have. We have the Voice of Democracy and Patriots pen. One is for the elementary school and the middle school, and one's for the high school. It's a scholarship program that we have, and they're also going to be participating in that.
Are you guys going to be taking part in the parade tomorrow?
No, we won't be over here for that. We've got so much going on with the pig roast and everything tomorrow. They asked us to be, but we just wasn't prepared for it this year.
Yeah, well, it's something to prepare for next year.
We will. We'd be honored.
They told us that they start planning on the next year's event the month after this closes.
There's Mike Watts back there in the back over my shoulder there. There's Benny right behind me in the blue shirt. And then right next to him, facing us, we see his face with the glasses. That's Mike Watts. That's Mike Watts Sr. I love him. Love him. Great dude. Just great dude. Not afraid to do what's right when everybody else is. Mike Watts ain't.
So it's a year-round full-time job putting these together, and well, we're grateful for you talking to us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and so I'm Elizabeth Jones, and we're with ARC TV, and we're down here at Jenkins Days Festival. Hello, I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARC TV, and
there's the Miss Lady. Well, here, we'll listen to her. I'll let you all talk to her.
We're still down here at Jenkins Days Festival, and we have come across Miss Linda Willoughby, who is our celebrity artist this year, every year, and we're grateful that you're here today. You want to tell us a little bit about what brings you down to this area and what keeps bringing you back to this area?
It just feels like homecoming here. Homecoming is a good name for this show, and everybody's just like one big family here, and the scenery here and the history is just awesome. I love it here.
Appalachian region,
Yes.
Appalachian history.
Yes, right.
I see a lot of your work. You have the Appalachian heart.
Fever. I have Appalachian fever. That's
Yes. So do you come? How many years have you been coming?
To the show?
Yeah,
Just
to the Jenkins Days Festival.
just 2 times. That's it. Just 2 years. Just 2 years.
You plan on keep coming?
Oh yes.
Yes.
As long as they want me.
Yeah. Well, where are you from?
Actually, I have property here now, hoping to build a little retirement cabin, but I live in Bowling Green also.
So that's a pretty good long distance to travel.
Yeah, I got to come an extra day.
Now, Bowling Green is where the Houck trial was held. What was his first name? Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson. That trial was held in Bowling Green.
Start out early.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I personally know about you is that when you come, you sleep in the back of your truck.
I do. A couple of reasons. Save money.
Yes.
And the second one, if a big windstorm, rainstorm comes, I can run and get everything under plastic real quick. So I try to stay nearby.
Well, you are one of the strongest, most inspirational women that I have ever met. And I love you very dearly. And I'm very grateful that you took the time to come, that you keep taking the time to come, and that you share your beautiful heart and your beautiful talent with the people of Appalachia.
Thank you. Sunday, I'm going to stay over an extra day. We're actually going to go out plein air painting and find some new locations. So I'm going to keep adding to it.
Have you ever thought about being an art teacher?
I teach a little bit on the side.
Is it basically just a hobby for yourself?
It's kind of grown beyond that.
Well, yes, of course. But
yeah, I love teaching, especially children.
Do you?
I do. I do.
You find that rewarding for yourself?
Yes. Well, all ages, but children are special.
What do you see that comes out in your art? What part of your heart comes out in your art more than anything?
My feeling for a place is just like the snow scene back there. That was one of my first impressions of coming up here many years ago. It was a big, heavy snow. I was terrified I was going to go off a cliff. But I remember that snow, and that's not exactly like it was, but it was in my mind. So I couldn't wait to get back and paint it. And the old Burdine store, I remember going in there and buying a bologna sandwich and an RC. Of course, the gas pump wasn't there, but I remember it. And I remember standing on Highway 23, which is now 805, and doing the Burdine Elementary.
You said to me the other day that people will tell you stories, and then you imagine it in your mind and you paint it then.
Right. That's like the one over here of the moonshine still. I was told that he ran moonshine in high school, and that was his first car. So I just added the story of where the feds have caught up with him. The moonshine was hid behind a rock at a designated place, and he's loading it. He's got his trunk up, but he gets peppered with fire from the feds, and they've busted one, and he's mad. So here comes the moonshiner who made it. He's hid up in the hills, and so that's kind of the story I put together.
Your art has so much. It's so much more than just a picture. There's always a story behind it. Yesterday we came through here, and you were telling us about this one here, the lost grave of Sam. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
When I first learned that story, it's just really has bugged me ever since that stone is laying there and nobody seems to know where his grave is. So I'm learning a little bit about him. I know he was a white gentleman, and he had left one child behind, and she died at the age of 70s when he was when he was 36. He had a 2 or 3 year old daughter that he left behind. So, it just bugs me that his stone is not on his grave and nobody knows where it is. And I would like to see it put back there, wherever it is.
Well, that's one thing about this, putting this out here, is that maybe there's a viewer out there that has some information about the Sam Adams tombstone.
I'm hoping. The gentleman died from pneumonia after having an appendectomy. And that's about all I know. But why his stone is laying there in the ditch for nearly 100 years, I don't know. But I just want it put back where, not put back, but put where it belongs.
Yes, we have to find where it belongs. All right. So if anybody has any information about that, get a hold of us at ARCTV, and we'll get a hold of Miss Linda Willoughby. So thank you, Miss Linda, for talking to us, and it's always such a joy to see you, and we'll see you later. Thank you. I'm Elizabeth Jones with ARCTV, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, well, we've been on here 2 hours and 15 minutes. I still got some other videos, but we'll save them for tomorrow. And Sam Adams, the beer maker. I don't know. Sam Adams is who she was talking about. It was somebody like 100 years ago or something, maybe even longer than that. I was reading something and I wasn't listening to what she was saying there. But apparently the headstone that was on his grave, or it was never put on his grave, and it ended up in a ditch somewhere. And so they were trying to find that headstone because she wanted to take it back and put it up on the grave or something. I don't know if she ever did. I don't know if she ever found it or not. I don't know if I've seen her. I'm sure I've seen her. I don't know when she was here last year, the year before. I don't know. All right, guys. That was kind of neat, though. Blast from the past, watching it back through. You guys, we still need a trial for our days. I have not seen one yet that sparked my interest, but if you guys know of a trial that's getting ready to come up, you let me know, and we're getting ready to start our trial watch again. And I look a lot different now, don't I? With my bottom teeth. So many people told me how stupid I was. How stupid are you to spend that much money on your teeth? But I knew, listen, I knew I have felt God for the last 15 years. I have felt him with so many steps and so many things that I've done. Like, I knew that if I was ever gonna be successful in any profession, if anybody was ever gonna take me seriously, remember, that's what I used to say before I started college. If anybody's ever gonna take me seriously, I'm gonna have to have a degree. I'm gonna have to have some credentials. So I went back to school, and I went back to school, and when that wasn't enough, I went back again, and when that wasn't enough, I went back again, and when that wasn't enough, I went back again. I was getting ready to go for my PhD. I'm glad I finally figured out, though, that even if I had gotten the PhD, it would not have been enough for any of them. They were not going to accept me, period. And so I'm glad I didn't waste more money, time, and energy on another degree that I, wouldn't have done any more than what I've already got, PhD wasn't going to give me nothing that the master's wasn't going to give me, so. But I knew that I had to have teeth. There's no way that you're going to get on camera and be able to do a show and not have teeth. So I spent the money. It was every penny that I'd saved. It was very expensive. I probably have the cost of a small house in my mouth. But I never regretted it. Not one day. Not one day have I regretted spending that money and investing in myself. I never had nice teeth. Not one day in my entire life did I ever have nice teeth. I do now. I can smile now. And that's God. For what, 10 years, I never smiled with my mouth open. I smiled with my mouth closed because I was ashamed of my teeth. The way that most people, or a lot of people in this area, were or are. But I invested in myself. And now I have nice teeth. It was important to me. It may not be important to everybody, but it was important to me. And so, you know, I've been working on me. Like, I think so. I think back at my lowest point in life. I was in the gutter. I mean, I was in the gutter for a long time. I used to say this. I was in hell. You might as well just say I was in hell. And I feel like God reached his big old mighty, mighty hand right down into the depths of hell. And he wrapped his hand around all this hair I got. And he just ripped me up out of the depths of hell. That's what I feel like. That's how I feel that God saved me. And ever since he pulled me out of the depths of hell, out of the fire, I've never been the same since. Thank you, Jesus, for being able to come together in your name one more day, Lord. Hallelujah. We just don't realize sometimes how short life is. And every single day is a gift. So many of us wake up in the morning, but we don't lay our head down at night because our lives are taken from this world. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you for your presence in my life. I thank you for saving my soul. I thank you for pulling me up out of the depths of hell. I rebuke Satan, Lord. I rebuke the devil in the mighty name of Jesus. I plead your precious blood over top of us all, Lord. I plead your precious blood. All we have to do is just speak your name, Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I love you, Jesus. I pray that you forgive me for my sins. There ain't none of us perfect, Lord. We make mistakes. I fall short every single day. I make mistakes every day, Lord. And I just pray that you keep your light at my feet. Keep me on the path, Lord. Keep a watch over my mouth and help me to not say things that I don't need to say, and give me the words that I need to be able to get my point across. I pray for all of our viewers, Lord, that are going through medical problems, health issues, Lord. I pray that you'll touch each and every one of them, that you will give them a complete and full healing in the mighty name of Jesus. I love you, Lord, and until we come again, until we come together again, keep us safe, go with us, go before us, protect us, provide for us. And we give you all praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. All right, guys. Well, you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. We love each and every one of you all. And thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gregory C. Love your dedication and attention to detail for a country gal. Thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate it. Thank you. I love you all. All right, honey. You all have a good night. Don't let them bed bugs bite, baby. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye.